Well, what's up? It is your boy Dredge. Today we're going to hopping into a Reddit video. We're here on r Am I the Asshole? And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a subreddit you can go and you tell a story about like what happened to you recently or whatever, and the community will decide whether you were in the right or if you were the asshole in the situation. So let's get into this, and our first post is here. It says, "Am I the asshole for getting my coworker's $2,000 vacation taken away?" Some background. My little sister is in the army. I haven't seen her since August for a funeral. She hasn't really been able to take leave because she was flagged for her weight. Finally, she tells me in early December that she got approved to go on leave at the end of January. So I immediately went out and put in for my vacation time at work. I haven't stopped talking about it, and I've made everyone aware that I am taking this time to see my sister. My job has a super strict first come, first served policy about taking vacations. My department only has 8 people, and it's considered a trade, so you can't just pull anyone off the street to cover us, like many jobs. So only one person is allowed to take a vacation at a time. This past week, one of my coworkers asked for the exact same week as me, saying she already spent $2,000 to go out of the country, and our bosses, quote, better approve the time off because how expensive it was, end quote. Our boss sees the request and pulls him aside, telling him that he can't have it because I asked for it. The coworker cries to the big boss, and big boss gives it to him, telling my boss to tell me to take my vacation some other time. I went to the big boss, explaining our situation, and he didn't do anything. So I went over his head. The DM was appalled and basically took away my coworker's vacation. Wrote my store manager for breaking policy and told my coworker that if he calls in more than once a week to go on said vacation, he'll get fired. I didn't mean to get everyone in trouble, but I asked for it over a month ago. I want to see my sister. Am I the asshole here? Alright, so what it seems like, basic workplace drama, this tends to happen a lot, I would say. I will, in my personal opinion, let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I do not think he's the asshole. He followed work policy. It's a good reason. So I mean, no, he's definitely not the asshole here. So moving on to our second post here. This one says, "Am I the asshole for telling my parents to take back the car they bought me? I'm an adult living in a house on my parents' property and I pay them rent. For months, I've been using Uber to get to work to save up to buy myself a car because my last one broke down. My parents surprised me My parents surprised me by buying me a car. Nothing fancy, but it runs. So of course, at first I was happy and thanked them for it. But after I got the tag and the insurance and actually started driving, they would start telling me that I couldn't take it out and be gone for days at a time, or that I couldn't take it to the beach, or I couldn't have certain people in it. I'm in my 20s, so I tried explaining to them that I'm still saving up for a different car and that I'd like them to take the car back when I do. They couldn't understand as to why I wanted to keep saving when they got me a car. I just don't feel like I want anyone to give me a gift and then they're going to put restrictions and hold it over my head. I'd rather just have saved up my own money to get something myself so that they don't have a third over my head. And there's the ones who brought it, so they make the rules. Am I the asshole?" No, I would not say you are. You're 20, so you're just now getting into adulthood and such. If they bought you a car, I mean, you're not the asshole, but like I can see where they're going. Like most of the time, you're going to get the stereotypical "your parents know best" speech, right? But I don't think they should hold any restrictions as to who can get in the car, because that's a bit weird. If that's your car, you should make the rules for it. But then again, they are your parents, so it's kind of like a double standard, and it just really depends on your relationship to your parents. But I do not think you're in the asshole here, and I'm going to give you a 90%. I can see where you're coming from, but I can also see the parent side. Alright, so hopping into our third post here. Am I the asshole for euthanizing a dying, injured dog by strangling it? Oof. Alright, that title does not sound good. Goodbye, monetization. On a double date, my girlfriend, her friend, and the friend's date are in the other guy's car. He runs over a stray border collie mix. This dog's mangled, broken legs with bones sticking out, eviscerated stomach. It's not going to survive. You could see its ribcage. Oh, wow, that's a terrible image to put in my head. Thank you, Reddit. A few bystanders approach and a crowd appears because the dog's whining. Nobody has a gun or a knife, so I decide to take a rag, wrap it around my hands to prevent getting blood on me, and I choke it to death. While I'm doing this, women are screaming and crying, making it an even bigger scene. As people see me strangling this dog. I mean, yeah, from the looks like it doesn't seem like that would be a very good thing to do. Well, not a good thing to do, but it's not a good sight to see. With no context, anyways. Back to the post. One woman in particular is annoying me, telling me her husband or boyfriend to stop me, but I didn't run over the dog. I'm just trying to help the situation as nobody is doing anything. After it's dead, I straight up was called an asshole for not waiting for a vet. Last I checked, there are emergency dog ambulances that arrive and reattach limbs and put stomachs back inside their dogs. Am I the asshole? Is he the asshole or is he not the asshole? I do not think he is the asshole. I think he did a perfectly, well, I'm not going to say perfect, like, I'm not sure what I would do in that situation, so it's hard to guess on what I would do personally. But I mean, if you're just going to lay it, it's basically dead. Even though it's still breathing, it's dead. It's got, what, an eviscerated stomach, broken legs. I mean, you can see the dog's rib cage. It's dead. So if anything, it's going to die anyways. This way, you're just putting it out of its misery, unless you just want to sit there and wait for it to die on the side of the road, probably where it's going to stay for the rest of its life. Strangling it, I don't know how that would go about. No one had a gun or a knife or anything, but then again, with a knife, that sounds a bit more even violent than strangling it, but I don't know. I don't know what I would have done, but strangling it, or, quote, putting it out of its misery, seems like would have been the best thing to do there. On to our fourth post here. Alright, this says, if I told my girlfriend that her clothes are no longer appropriate. Okay. It says, my girlfriend and I had a baby a few months ago. Prior to the pregnancy, my girlfriend liked to flaunt her body, and I was fine with that. She naturally started dressing more modestly for the pregnancy. However, now that she's given birth and her stomach has mostly bounced back, she's gone right back to the clothes that have her boobs hanging out, her midriff showing, or so tight on her butt that she could split the seams if she sits wrong. I naturally still think she's sexy, but I don't think this is an appropriate way for a mother to dress, especially considering that our daughter will grow up seeing this and emulate it. Does she need to tone it down? Let's see. I mean, I get where he's coming from, and you can dress however you wish, and do it whenever you wish. But as for setting role models and stuff, I think it's more black and white than just if your daughter sees it, that's what she's going to do. But then again, it's the same thing. Like, if she does see it, she might start doing it. You never know. Is he an asshole for it, though? I'd say it's a unspoken thing. Like, you might want to bring it up and be like, hey, this is what I think. What's your input on this situation? You know, something like that. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely not the classic mother that you would think of. But I mean, if I don't know the age range here either, so if you're still young, it might be a little bit more socially acceptable just because that's how society is now. But I mean, yeah, I'd say you're not in the wrong, but you need to bring it up in a way that is suitable. Alright, we're hopping into our last post here. This is, it says, am I the asshole for splitting from my wife after she changed her mind about having kids? So my wife and I have been together for 8 years. Well, yeah, have been together for 8 years. Married for 4 of them. A year after getting married, we started trying to have a baby, and she got pregnant soon after. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage. Midway through her second trimester, that time was really hard for her, and I gave her time to grieve and did not want to pressure her into trying again or anything. About 2 or so months after the miscarriage, she told me that she didn't want kids anymore. I thought she was still grieving for her loss and didn't push it. It's been almost 2.5 years since the miscarriage and still maintains that she doesn't want kids. I have suggested surrogacy, I butchered that word, and adoption, thinking that she's just afraid of having another miscarriage, as she said that was the worst pain she's ever gone through. As rightfully so. I mean, that would be a horrible thing to go through. But she said that she didn't want to do that either. I still deeply love my wife, and I've always wanted to be a dad. Am I an asshole for leaving her since she doesn't want kids anymore? Well, this is how you gotta put life into a scenario. You gotta know what you want when you want it. And I'm not just saying that in like a male perspective. If you're highly religious and you're wanting to go with someone who's not religious, it's polar opposites, but you can still be together as long as you respect each other's beliefs, alright? So it's kind of the same thing here. I mean, if you want kids, but she doesn't want kids, and it's been 2.5 years now. I mean, maybe she will down the road, maybe she won't. This is what some people want. And if you can't find that common ground in the middle, it's best to go off your own ways. You want to go for what you want, and you want to make your life the best out of it. Like, you want to find someone that wants the same life goals as yourself. If you want to have kids and start a family and be a dad, then find someone that meets that criteria. Find someone who wants to settle down, be a mother, and have kids. For the other woman, find someone that just wants to be married, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. Settle down and just be married. It's definitely not the traditional thing that I'm used to from where I live. But I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's that's just what you want to do, I guess. What you want to do in life, and you want to figure it out. But anyways, that was it for other Reddit posts today. We looked at 5 of them from r Am I an Asshole? If you liked it, please subscribe and leave a comment, and let me know your opinions on these 5 posts in the comments, and whether you think they're an asshole or not. But if you guys did enjoy, like I said, subscribe, and I'm going to have more of these coming out. And I always try to find the latest ones, so that when we're not looking at too old of a post. But yeah, thanks for watching.